don't know what happened there. I lost, I couldn't hear a damn thing on my side, so. Oh well. Hold on one second. I had to start the software program over again. Oh, and there goes the dog, just on cue. It's perfect. It's awesome. How's everybody doing? Sorry about the last one there. So, there you go. Yeah, that was Chloe. She's learning to bark like Blue. It's weird. Almost like she practiced what Blue, how Blue was doing it. Yeah, sorry I had to start up again, but that I couldn't even hear any of the music that was being played. All right, let me. I don't know if you guys saw. There was a Facebook or a post, I guess, on Facebook, and I don't know if it's legit or anything like that. It seems really specific, and the family still hasn't been told stuff, so it'd be kind of strange if that person knew anything. But I made a community post on YouTube, and it seemed really specific. So I thought we would just take a look at that, and then also there was a live stream on at the scene that we'll take a look at as well. Wow, look at all those channel members. Everybody's in green, except for a few people who didn't think I was worth it. God. Not really. Just joking. Hey, it's Nurse Rhonda. Did you ever send me your address to send you a mug in the email? Oh, that's okay. I don't. That was a joke. All right. So I don't know if that community post is accurate or what. Okay, but I'll let you know what it said because it seemed specific enough. Okay, but again, like I've done before, everybody, take it with a grain of salt. It kind of makes some sense though. All right, it says they passed away in their car after wrecking. Then somebody said, well, the car was found deep in the woods. No reports of a wreck. See, the deep in the woods thing made it kind of confusing. But then this person wrote again, the night they went missing, 911 call came in for a car excessively speeding over 100 miles an hour down Independence. So, you know, you sort of wonder if it's an accident at that point. I mean, you're going over 100 miles an hour in an area that you kind of know what's going on. I don't know who was driving the car, though. That matters, right? I mean, it is Paige's car, but was Stephanie driving it, or was Paige driving it? So anyways, it says excessively speeding over 100 miles an hour down Independence. They thought they heard a crash, these witnesses did. Police and EMT and fire went out looking and couldn't find anything. A deputy decided to have a team look in the area again today, and that's when they saw the top of the car out in the marsh. See, now that's not in the middle of the woods at that point, right? In the marsh grass. They ran the stop sign and went airborne through the trees and sunk into the marsh grass. That's why they weren't found that night. It was just a faint sighting of the top of the car. They believe they died on impact, but autopsies will confirm that. Well, that sounds really specific, right? So I'm actually just reading the comment. Let me show you what they're saying. It kind of makes sense. I mean, so and that's actually that first place that I was talking about, or not the first place, but one of the places I was talking about where that pier is, and they could have gone in there, but I wasn't thinking that was the reason. But that is how I have them driving there. So I had them going like this, like that, and then down this Independence right here. And so you can kind of see that if somebody just blew down this road at 100 miles an hour, they would fire across the intersection, through the trees, and into the marshy area. Right? So it totally makes sense, and you can even kind of look at it like this. Look at that. I mean, you'd be in this lane over here, obviously, but just absolutely flying through that, and then poof. Now, is that something that was, if this is true, I mean, now we're doing the ancient aliens theory. You know, if this is true, then is it possible that when they went flying through the middle, like right through there, and into the marsh that's right on the other side of that? Okay, so it has a ring of truth to it. And you can see the marsh back there. Look at that. Look how marshy that is. This is December 2016. The street view here. Okay, I don't see any of the comments yet, so hold on a second. There you guys are. Oh, I got an error thing. What was the error there? Not receiving enough to maintain a smooth streaming. Oh, come on, Amy. You didn't have to become a member. I was just joking around. But thank you. So what do you guys think of that right there? And now let's play this. This is a Facebook. It's called the North Carolina Beat. Okay. It's right here. They're called the North Carolina Beat. And he was out there. And you can see this is right in that area. See, there's the yellow tape there. And that's the tape we couldn't see yesterday. I don't know. We'd have to look over there. But.
All right, hello everybody. This is Gerald. I am live in Wilmington, North Carolina. Police have brought dogs on the scene where two bodies were found. So
Gerald with North Carolina Beat.
On the intersection
North Carolina Beat.
Of Independence Boulevard. And
so it's weird that they brought dogs out here. So this is the next day. So you recovered the vehicle. I mean, was it such a bad wreck that, I mean, I don't want to, sound gross, but maybe there was some body parts that they didn't recover in the vehicle or around it or something like that, and they're trying to use a dog to find those. I don't know. I think it's kind of an unusual amount of cop cars and detectives and so forth still around if it's like legitimate, legitimately an accident. But the thing is going 100 and something miles an hour down that road doesn't sound like an accident. It's kind of reminding me a little bit of the Hart family, but just a whole different, a similar situation, but.
And River Road in Wilmington, North Carolina on Monday afternoon around 3:00 p.m. Police have told us, and we have not received any more information other than what I'm about to tell you.
What's weird was when I went to sleep last night, I was thinking to myself, how would, if the car was in the woods, then that means and it was a traditional murder-suicide, you would have had to have killed the person before going in the middle of the woods. Because it's not like you're going to let yourself be driven into the middle of the woods. Okay, so I was thinking that, but, this actually makes some sense. You got somebody that's, remember what we were talking about. Let's just say that, well, here's the thing. It changes everything if Paige is driving the vehicle. Okay, if Stephanie's driving the vehicle, then everything still fits into place. What we were talking about. Yeah, could be. I think if it's what we were talking about yesterday, based on what the ex-girlfriend was saying, Stephanie's the one that's been suicidal in the past and has control issues. So if there was a situation where Paige was wanting to get out of this and they're on this road driving around and Paige isn't changing her mind, then all of a sudden some crazy shit might be happening. Now, if Paige is driving the vehicle, I have no idea. It seems weird to be driving over 100 miles an hour that time of night, two girls just after buying snacks, you know? It's strange. And it's a little odd, you gotta admit, that there's that much law enforcement presence out there.
Police have told us that the two bodies that were found inside of this vehicle was the vehicle that Paige Escalera and
Thank you, Carissy Paradis.
Stephanie Mayorga was last seen in April 15th of this year, just 20 days ago. And so this is a live look right now as it happens.
Oh yeah, maybe that's where they thought they were going to get married at some time.
That you guys are looking at. It appears...
Yeah, what I'm saying here is I don't have a clue who this person is that made this Facebook post. It's very detailed, so it feels like it could be accurate, and it seems like it's in one of the locations that we were discussing yesterday. Okay, so just keep in mind, I'm just talking about it. There's nothing confirmed at all. I'm almost positive, though, that the two bodies found in the cars are them. It'd be really shocking if it wasn't, because it's the very same vehicle, make and model, that kind of thing. Well, how do you know it wasn't a double? Somebody made a car that looked like it, put two other people in, and then... Yeah, okay, well, you go with that one.
To be a dog in the back. Police have allowed this vehicle to...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe the crash was intentional. That's what I was saying.
That tape right there. Let me just zoom in for you
but guys. I don't think both of them were in on the crash. You know, the whole Bonnie and Clyde thing. And wasn't there a reference to Bonnie and Clyde or something like that earlier on? Or not Bonnie and Clyde, Thelma and Louise. There
with the trunk open.
Same thing.
Give me one moment, you guys. Let me just... Appears to be a dog in the back right there, just where this lady is standing. It appears to be a dog.
Well, the car was in an accident, they said, in that
right
post.
Here.
So if I was just going to read that post again, it says... second. The night they went missing... Listen to how specific this sounds, okay? I don't have any way of proving that it's true or not. Unless it's just somebody with a crazy imagination that wanted to make up a story about how the car went through that intersection, okay? Thanks, Miss Skiss. Yes, go to sleep. The night they went missing, a 911 call came in for a car excessively speeding over 100 miles an hour down Independence. I don't know where they got this information. But I'm going to read this again.
Miss Duel yesterday was too exhausted from 12-hour shift. Miss Cairo expressionless face will rewatch after this. Love ya gray and freaks growing heart.
Yeah, so they went missing. A 911 call came in. A car excessively speeding over 100 miles an hour down Independence. They thought they heard a crash. Police, EMT, and fire went out looking right in that exact area. Couldn't find anything. A deputy decided to have a team look in the area again today. You know, probably based on that 911 call, they were like, hey, you know, let's recheck that again. And they saw the top of the car out in the marsh grass. That's not deep in the woods. They ran the stop sign and went airborne through the trees and sunk into the marsh grass. That's why they weren't found that night. It was just a faint sighting of the top of the car. They believe they died on impact, but autopsies will confirm that. Okay, that's what somebody wrote. Now, to me, you know, it sounds really specific, but that could just be somebody's crazy, wild imagination But I don't know. It just... Well, look at it. It actually makes sense, to be honest with you. Somebody driving down... This is exactly where they had that yellow tape. I was thinking maybe they were over here. Now, we don't know. That could very well still all be true. We just don't know at this point. But I'm going to go with this theory now, just to discuss it. That there was going over 100 miles an hour down this road. And maybe somebody in these apartments or who saw it. And then... boom, it just goes flying through that intersection. And let's see what it looks like right at that point. You know, so it would fly right through there, hit some trees, spin around, and go quite a ways out there. Probably hit the curb, get a little bit of... get up in the air slightly. Just boom, and then through the trees there, and then out into the marsh. Alright? Well, you know how people just go, oh my god, how fast they can just, you can see a car when it's driving way too fast. Who knows? Maybe it was going 87. Okay, well, I don't go to the group page. I don't know where the group page is. But where is the okay, let me go to the Wilmington. Does it say it on the Wilmington Facebook page? Or is that what you're talking about? Let's see. Hey, thanks, Christy Shivery. Okay, so you're confirming... okay, let me take a look at that. Why do you always send me the mobile version of it? God, it's just... Hold on a second. Okay, that's the one I was just looking at on the page. Alright, Wilmington police are confirming that the car found yesterday just off River Road is registered to 25-year-old Paige Escalera. That's what I've been saying. The car was found just after 3 p.m. outside the Watermark Marina with 2 unidentified bodies inside. The gray 2013 Dodge Dart was deep in the woods and covered in vegetation. While the investigation continues, police believe the car may have been involved in an extremely high-velocity crash. 911 records show that on April 15th, police, fire, and EMS were dispatched to this area just before midnight. See, that's why that post seems so freaking real, because it was too detailed and too accurate. A caller advised that they saw a car in their rearview mirror west on Independence Boulevard going at a high rate of speed. So they were actually driving too, possibly hitting a wall. So they were driving the other, let me see. So they were going, that's right, so they were driving this way, the car that made the call, and then they were going west, Paige and Stephanie, or that car. Okay, let's say. The caller advised that they saw a car in their rearview mirror heading west on Independence Boulevard, going at a high rate of speed, possibly hitting a wall, then going into the wooded area. When first responders arrived, they met with the caller and searched the area with flashlights. Well, didn't they see any signs? Like, I mean, you know, that, you know, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, a car hitting some stuff that fast, there'd be splintered wood and kind of stuff all over the place. However, they were unable to find any sign of collision and no one with injuries. Police have now broadened this investigation to include a traffic crash. Okay, both bodies are scheduled to undergo an autopsy in the coming days. We will release information as it becomes available. The case remains under investigation. Right. Well, something... I want to know who was driving the vehicle. And why, you know, why was it going over 100 miles an hour down that road? Yeah, it just seems like if the police would get there right away, they would have seen something. Let me look at the... So hit a wall. What kind of a wall? There's no wall over there. You know, there's this one. Hell, maybe it was over there then. Is that deep into the woods? Nah, that'd be impossible to make that turn at 100. You're going 100 miles an hour, you're not going to be able to make that sharp a turn. You'd do a rollover. So it seems like it makes more sense just that it went straight through that. And that wall's still standing, so forget that. See, again, this is the North Carolina beat.
On Monday afternoon around 3 o'clock p.m. Police have told us, and we have not received any more information other than what I'm about to tell you. Police have told us it appears to be a dog in the back. Police have allowed this vehicle to go behind that tape right there. Let me just zoom in for you guys.
Yeah, just explain that, Ashley. Yeah, thanks.
That white vehicle right there with the trunk open. Give me one moment, you guys. Let me just...
It's not, I don't think it's negligence.
In the back right there, just where this lady is
Everybody
standing,
wants
it
to look
appears
for
to be a
somebody's
dog.
fault. It's their fault for driving 100 miles an hour.
This is a live look right here in Wilmington, North Carolina. I want you guys to see this.
I just think it's weird that there was no signs. Obviously, they looked, right? They just didn't see anything. It might have, you know what it could have done was hit the curb and go really cleanly through the trees, and then they died on impact. I don't know if
you guys can see the dog, but there's a cage. I don't know if they got the dog out through the front or where did they get the dog out from. But there is a dog that has been...
Yeah, see, look at this again, right? See, it's possible it went boom right through there, flew through that section right there, didn't touch anything, just hit the curb, went flying through there, and then when it hit the ground, that's when people died on impact. Maybe it hit another branch or something out further, and they just didn't see it. It just seems a little strange that you couldn't find any sign at all. Okay.
Brought to the scene. Did they already get the dog out?
Well, but it definitely wasn't. It doesn't sound like it was found in the woods. It sounds like it was in the marsh.
So for all of those that are just now tuning in, we're right here at the intersection of Independence Boulevard and River Road in Wilmington, North Carolina. On yesterday afternoon around 3 o'clock p.m., police found a gray 2013 Dodge Dart right in this area, just across the street from where you're watching us live at right now. There were two bodies inside.
Okay, and here's what I something I just got from the sister a second ago. So this is interesting. Now it fits more into what my theory. Okay, the sort of a heart family killing scenario. She said that the only thing that they got was that a description of the passenger was the description of Paige's clothing. Okay, so Paige wasn't driving the vehicle. Stephanie was driving the vehicle. According to what I just read. All right, so You know, I think there is something to what we've been saying. Okay. Anyways, let me keep playing this.
That vehicle was last seen with Paige Escalera and Stephanie Mayorga inside April 15th.
The one driving the car, Sasha.
If you guys remember when I told you yesterday, we was on the scene last night, and there was a lady who told us that her friend's son that lives in this area had told us that the same night that these two women went missing, that there was a loud boom in the same area that we are in right now. And police came, they searched the area and did not find anything. We do want to let you know that yesterday the bodies of these two individuals were decomposed. But right now, as we look on the scene live, there has to be more that is going on in this investigation, because we have a lot of police vehicles out here, a lot of police officers, and there's been a dog that has been brought to the scene. We don't know what the dog is searching for. We have not received any more information as it relates to this investigation as of right now. So this is just a live look of what's going on right now at the intersection of Independence Boulevard and River Road, okay? Just in the entrance of Watermark Marina of Wilmington. So I just want you guys to see. This is in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yeah, those are, if it's a cadaver dog, that means, maybe there's severe impact that, I don't know. And then the body's decomposed over time, 2 weeks in a marsh. It's warm out. And then maybe, I don't know. Maybe, it's too disturbing to talk about, but there was impact and maybe body parts were missing, and they're using the dogs to find that, or maybe they're looking for something else. I have no idea.
Carolina, we're at the intersection of Independence Boulevard and River Road. Yep, do you guys see that dog right there? There it is right there. There is a dog in the back of that vehicle. Police have allowed this vehicle to go past the caution tape.
Yes, Curious George. We were just explaining it to you. I'll do it again. My God. Okay, so apparently down this road, the vehicle was driving over 100 miles an hour, high speed, went through the intersection here, and then into the woods there. And apparently Paige wasn't the one driving the car. I know. Well, try reading up then instead of, So anyways, it went through the intersection, into the woods, through the woods there, and I guess apparently into the marsh where they could see the top of it. Yeah.
The crime scene tape. Somehow, this dog will be part of this investigation. As you guys can see, there's an animal, a dog, that is in the back of that vehicle. You guys just saw the dog. They have not pulled the dog out yet. The dog has not come out as of right now, but this is a live look of the crime scene, or the scene, shall I say, of this investigation. We have not seen any known FBI agents here. We do know that the FBI has been called in to help and assist in this investigation. We have not seen anyone with any type of clothing or anything that says they are with the FBI. We do know that there are a lot of Wilmington Police Department officers here and detectives. Most of the time, normally when the FBI is involved in a case such as this, they would take over. Normally, they would take over the investigation. Well, I know.
Yeah, I know. There's a dog on the scene, but maybe the dog was just, part of a unit. They didn't really weren't going to use him for anything.
Most of the time doing missing children cases or abduction.
Oh my God, there's a dog in the car.
Local authorities would call in the FBI, being that these two women were adults. We don't know if they're assisting or if they're women found, so that you guys, Twitter. Let me put my Twitter up here so you guys will be able to follow me on Twitter as breaking news happen, I'll be sure to update you guys, okay? So make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at Gerald J. Bless. Make sure you guys share this broadcast as well. And when we get more information about the dogs and what the dogs are doing, I'll be sure to bring you live coverage of that, all right? I'm Gerald Jackson reporting in Wilmington, North Carolina for the North Carolina Beat.
Yeah, so go get on his Twitter feed. Yeah, it's not a pet dog, but it's just kind of like, you know, maybe the unit showed up, but they weren't using the dog for anything. I don't know. You know, who knows? Could have been. So that seems to be confirmed, that post on Facebook made by that individual was right on the money. And let's just do this again here really quick. So at 7:30 at night, they got done working at a construction site for a construction company, and then dropped off a friend at 7:30 at their apartment, whatever. It was a friend of theirs, probably is the one that got him the job at the construction company. Then at 10:45, they're leaving their apartment here. Stephanie leaves first, then Paige second. That's what I always thought. Stephanie was driving because she left the house first, but then I found out it was Paige's vehicle, and it turns out Stephanie was driving regardless. So anyways, they drove down to, at 10:45, they left the apartment, drove to K&D Mini Mart right here, and purchased $21 worth of food at 10:49. Now I wonder what time that 911 call was. That'd be interesting to get that. Was it just immediately after buying this? Or was there like an hour where they were somewhere else? But regardless, they were driving like this. They never made it back to the apartment. I think we would have seen that surveillance. And probably went like this, and then down this road like that. Or no, actually, excuse me. Let me get the right one here. Yeah, that was the right one. Okay, like this, down like this, and then boom, straight down here. And then probably at some point something went wrong, and Stephanie started driving over 100 miles an hour, it sounds like, and then blasted through the stop sign and into the woods. That's where we get the Hart family scenario. She just said, you know, I don't know if it, you know, it's not really comparable like that, but I mean an intentional crash intended to kill people. So that is my opinion. I think the murder-suicide angle is still open because of that situation right there. I wouldn't necessarily call it an accident, right? Now, maybe the lighting is such where if you're going too fast and you're not paying attention, you would just go right through that. But really, 100 and something miles an hour, heading to the, you know, towards the coast area. Maybe this is a place that they thought that they were going to get married at one point, off here somewhere, because they were engaged, and maybe Paige called off the engagement, and then the car, you know, I speculated a while ago that it could have been that Paige was trying to get out of the relationship after she realized that it was controlling, and, you know, didn't want to deal with all that. Oh, was it after midnight? Okay. I didn't see the 911 call. Let me see that again. Now I don't have that link anymore. Let's see, it was the North Carolina. There it is. The car was found. Okay. 911 records show that on April 15th, police, fire, EMS were dispatched to this area before midnight. So before midnight. So that's within. That would mean it's probably about an hour, within an hour of them being at the mini mart, and it's only a 6-mile drive. So, you know, saying before midnight could mean a lot of different things, though. You know, it could be 11 o'clock because that's before midnight. Yeah, I don't think so, Curious George. I think it was an intentional. Well, who knows? You know, but the thing is, you don't know what happened. They went to the store. I agree with that part. They went to the store, right? But something must have happened in that hour, knowing how Stephanie is, okay? I don't know why. Why do you think she was driving 100 miles an hour down that road? At a high rate of speed. Not paying attention to what the hell you're doing. They didn't see any brake marks on the ground. They would have seen that, right, at night? They would have seen a big skid mark. So when you say they didn't have time. Okay, Curious George. Why don't you go troll some other channel? You're doing the same bullshit you used to always do on other cases, okay? I remember vividly. Now there's a helicopter there, huh? Wow. Crazy. Yep. Right, but maybe at the time she didn't really realize, you know. I don't know, I think it's scary. I wouldn't grab a wheel at somebody going, yeah, see you later, Kira. I wouldn't want to, if somebody's driving over 100 miles an hour, I wouldn't grab the wheel. That'd be the last thing I did. Because you'd flip the car over. The argument was, 100's not that fast. You know, 100 miles an hour is really fast. It takes effort to actually get up to 100 miles an hour. Okay? And you're trying, when you're going 100 miles an hour, you're trying to go 100 miles an hour. So that's a stupid argument. Yeah, you have the right to disagree. And I don't respect your opinion at all, Curious George. You could even be right, but I don't respect your opinion. You understand what I'm saying? You've always just been a little bit weird. Well, then you're crazy, Curious George, all right? Right. To crash at that... Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like she was hitting the brakes either. They probably would have seen skid marks and all kinds of things like that. No, highways aren't 100 anywhere in the United States, Curious George. God, I'll let the police know. What state do you live in? Man, got a crazy man out there. Okay, well, this isn't the Bahamas. It's the United States, Curious George. Well, you were aware of that, weren't you? I'm just kidding. I wouldn't report somebody. You know, do what you want, Curious Georgia. Or Curious George, I mean. Curious Georgia, Jesus. There was I saw a Curious George yesterday without the space. Now there's a Curious, you know, this Curious George who's always here trolling. And then there was the Curious, and then there's Curious Georgia. You got 3 of them. Yeah. Here's the thing, even if the police rule it an accident, I don't think it is. Because there's no way for them to know. right? They would, you know, I think if you base it on the circumstances leading up to that, it's highly likely that she drove that vehicle on purpose through that intersection into the marsh. Okay, I really believe that. So I guess there might not ever be a way of actually knowing, okay, at this point, unless she wrote it down in a diary or something like that. But if you don't see any skid marks, then it's a good indication she just went flying through there intentionally as fast as she could. They might rule it an accident, though. I can see them doing that. Oh, okay. Well, there you go, Curious George. Okay, hey, listen. Curious George is now exonerated from all of it, or his comments because he was talking kilometers an hour. Okay, well, there you go, Curious George. So convert that into kilometers an hour, and it's probably something like 150. All right? So think about it like that. That's hilarious. Okay, Curious George. I respect your opinion now. Now that you switched it to 100 kilometers an hour. Yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah. I don't know. There seems something a little bit weird. They could be going 100 miles an hour down that straightaway, no hesitation, just flying into the woods. And you're talking to somebody who, well, about somebody who actually has a lot of issues that was driving that vehicle. All right. Thanks, Robin Frost. From Australia and New Zealand, COVID-free zone. So you don't have COVID over there? Maybe it's because over there it's, well, right now it's basically summertime is when we have winter here. So
from Australia and NZ, COVID-free zone. Great work, Gray.
Thank you. Yeah, so I wasn't really right. I mean, we don't know yet where the car was found. We're assuming it's over here because that makes sense. I thought maybe it was in this area. I thought maybe here at one time, but it wasn't from flying through an intersection. I thought maybe it just kind of drove into there. So I didn't have the manner, you know exactly what happened. That's crazy. But look how long that straightaway is. A Thelma and Louise moment there. Except one of them probably wasn't into it. You know what I mean? Okay, everybody. I think that is it for the update here. I just wanted to share that. I appreciate it. And thank you to a new member, Amy Higg. She became a Megazoid. She didn't have to, though, right then. I was just joking around. I said everybody was green except a couple. So I said, yeah, look at all those greens except some of these people that, don't like, I was just goofing around. But she became a Megazoid anyways. Yeah, so 62 miles an hour makes sense. Yeah. I'm glad you drive over 62 sometimes, Curious George. I wouldn't want you to be one of those people that drove so slowly. And thank you to Chrissy Paradis, Miss Skiss, Christy Shivery, and Robin Frost, who is COVID-free in Australia, from Australia and New Zealand. I guess it's COVID-free over there, apparently. Okay, so we will see you guys later in the later in the day or evening, depending on what's going on here. All right. So thank you for showing up. Oh yeah, can I get one more drink for the road? Hey, bartender. Yes, I'd like a rum and coke. Thanks. Okay, you got it. Okay, good. Yeah. So we'll see you guys a little bit later in the day. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. 2, 3, 4. Oh, thanks, Amy Hake.
Hey, John boy, we doing a show tonight?
Yeah, he just said that. He's going to do a show tonight. He just doesn't know if it's in the afternoon or the evening.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grego's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper fucking checked ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.